Okay, so when Behemoth released their first single off their new album and it was titled The of God, I was like, what? And then reading the press release, Nergal said, quote, "We chose this provocative title deliberately, rejecting subtlety in favor of a direct and polarizing statement. It's a defiant plunge into the depths, daring to seek the absolute, even in the gutter." So I was thinking, is this really what the next Behemoth album's gonna be? Well, I got my greedy claws on an advanced stream of the next Behemoth record, and I'm here to tell you exactly how much poo-poo you should expect on episode 217 of Heavy Metal Philosophy. Welcome, metalheads. I'm the host of Heavy Metal Philosophy and writer for Metal Digest, Jon Barbas. Make sure you stick around to the end of the episode for this week's Riff of the Week. Now, I don't know about y'all, but for me, The Satanist is one of my favorite records of all time. It's heavy and it's blasphemous, just like we should always expect from Behemoth, but it was also high art and poetry, and in many ways, I think it is the pinnacle of what Black and Death can and should be. The question is, how do you follow such a monumental work? Well, I Loved You at Your Darkest and Opus Contra Naturam, they both went along on that artistic and poetic path, but as great as those records were, they just couldn't stack up to The Satanist. Well, now that I've listened to the shit of God, I'm here to tell you, I'm real happy with the direction Behemoth went here. This record reminds me a lot of Evangelion and the Apostasy and Demigod. You know, if you can't top The Satanist, and really, who can, then going back to that meaner and more aggressive sound seems like a pretty great path forward to me. Yep, I am pleased to tell you that the lead single is the only song that talks about poopies. The next single they released after The Shit of God was The Shadow Elite, and this was a much more old school, not only in sound Behemoth song, but also the video was way more raw and black metal than typical Behemoth fare, and I like that. They don't all have to be some grand opus and cinematic experience. Sometimes going raw is just the change up that we need. And I am thrilled to tell you that The Shadow Elite is not a one-off. Songs on this record like Sowing Salt, To Drown the Sun in Wine, and Nomen Barbarum are old school Behemoth. They're aggressive crushers. And when there are momentary slow or mid-tempo sections, they remind me much more of a song like Alas, Lord is Upon Me than more recent slow and artsy songs from Behemoth. Now, obviously, I can't play any unreleased music, but here is a clip of Alas, Lord is Upon Me just to illustrate what I mean. Well, some of you might be thinking right now, well, I want a little bit of art in my black metal, and fret not, because there is a good artsy mid-tempo song on here called Oh Venus Come, and it gives me strong Ben Sahar vibes. So with that said, I'm really digging this album. Now, I know the intro to this episode might make it seem like I hate the title track, but I don't. It's a banger song. Musically, it's awesome. It's just the title that gets me. But I love this song. It's got great riffs, great arrangements, great performances, strong energy. It is a banger. But yeah, the title makes me feel like a goober when I say it out loud. My YouTube Uncle Melty over at the Metal Meltdown reviewed the song when it first released, and I really couldn't have said it any better.
I can't lie. One of their more inspired, fiery, spicy cuts as of late. Love the energy of that chorus, love how it's propelled and emboldened by these powerful, extreme metal percussive bursts. Love that sizzling solo, that fast-paced, blackened death metal riffage all the way through, Nergal's vicious, venomous vocal sneers and gutturals. It ain't gonna win any awards for maturity or intelligence or innovation, but you know what? It's a solid little blackened death metal jam. Check it out, why not?
So with all that said, let's be real honest here. Next time I'm at a Behemoth concert, because I don't miss Behemoth concerts, and they play that song, I will be right there in the audience screaming, "We are the shit of God," right with everybody else. Y'all know that people love to dog Metallica for that "give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire."
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
But y'all know damn well if you're at a Metallica concert and you hear that, you'll pop just like everybody else. I'm going to see Metallica this coming June. Now, is Fuel on any of my gym playlists? No, it's not. But if they play that song live when I see them in June, I'm not going to be too cool for school and cross my arms like a nerd. I'll be headbanging with everybody else. So yeah, I think the shit of God will become one of those Fuel-esque metal memes. It may not be as pervasive as the Fuel meme, but still. And that's both cool and unfortunate because this is genuinely a good album. I really hope it doesn't become known as the poop record. There's only one song on here that mentions any feces, and it's a banger musically, and the rest of the record is vintage Behemoth. I think that this album will mark the next era of Behemoth. I've mentioned in previous episodes that I think some bands have distinct eras. Behemoth had their early black metal era, then they transitioned into Black and Death and had their breakout success. I'm going to say Demigod, The Apostasy, and Evangelion. Then they went into their artsy era with The Satanist, I Loved You at Your Darkest, and Opus Contra Naturam. So if we think about these Behemoth eras as album trilogies, then this will be the first in a leaner and meaner Behemoth, but with all of the skill they've gained and lessons they've learned as a veteran band. That seems pretty exciting to me, but don't take my word for it. You'll be able to hear for yourself this Friday, May the 9th. Y'all let me know what you think of the new Behemoth in the comments, and I'm about to spool up the riff of the week. Hey, the episode's closing, and that means the riff of the week is about to play. While the riff of the week plays, why don't you mosey on down to the description below, and there you will find a link to the merch shop where you can get sweet swag like this. But you need to do it soon because it will only be available till the end of the summer. So check it out, JonBarbas-shop.fourthwall.com. Links in the description. Now let's do the riff of the week. But most importantly, read philosophy, listen to metal. I love you.